So I want to jump back just a second. You talked about when your third eye opened and you started actually it cleared up and you started receiving those messages and perceiving clearly.
Right.
Uh, can you describe to me how you actually sense something? For example, when you sense, say you sense an issue for somebody's past life, how do you experience that? I mean, what feelings do you personally experience when you're going through that sensation?
Oh, okay. So the very first time during meditation, the meditation was very general, not to say now you open your third eye, nothing like that. So during meditation, I saw this, what seems to be a painting on the wall. And I said, oh, that I recognize that painting. That is, I thought it was a religious figure made up by somebody. At the time, I was really ignorant about certain cultures' histories. I'm still not very familiar with most cultures' histories in detail. Then painting on the, seems to be a framed painting, came to life. And I knew, I had this strong feeling that I was one of the women in the painting, and the main character was a man, which I recognized who he was. I thought, wow, why would something like that, come to me? And then I kind of, used my physical brain to just stop it. So that was the first thing I saw. And then after Grandmaster asked me again and again, I told him, and he said he was real in history. He was not a fictitious person. He was real. He turned out to be a king later. But when I saw him, he was not the king yet. He was just a young man. And then later on, it became a movie. It became a much elaborated movie of the whole story, how we met, what he said, what I said, what we did. And every time I went back, Grandmaster was guiding me. Said, go back and see that again. I would see the story being more detailed and longer, but consistent. The feeling was consistent. The stories were consistent. It's almost more clear than something that happened 20 years ago from this lifetime, for example, which was amazing. And there's no, a change of story, but more detail. Yeah, every time I went back.
Yeah. Well, the reason I ask to hear how you experience it is because I know that there are so many people right now who are beginning to wake up and who are beginning to experience the opening of the third eye, the opening of those senses. And I know this is from personal experience. When I went through my own opening, it was I had a lot of chaos that happened within my own mind, as doubting my own sanity and really questioning whether or not what I was experiencing was real.
Yes.
So. What would you suggest to somebody who is beginning to ask those questions and experience these kind of things? What would be the first thing that you would suggest that they do to help to develop this?
It was really helpful to me that I had a real good teacher who was patient with me and was willing to guide me. Not guide me in the direction he wanted me to see, but just encouraged me to go back and see again, and I was able to decipher it was real because based on what he knew what I saw was actually real because he saw who I was, 3,000 years ago without telling me, because Grandmaster did not want to share something prematurely before you were ready. A particular student was ready. So having a good teacher was very helpful to me because looking back, without a good teacher, I would have just assumed it was imaginary and I think forced myself to not go there.
I have a question with it because for me, when I was like around 20, and I started getting visions, and I couldn't understand what they were meaning, and now they've gotten, I still get them, but it's like when you walk into a dark room, and I say, like, I'll point to something, for example, and you can somewhat tell the shape, but you don't really know what you're looking at, and it's like, it's not clear. It's like the lights are down.
Oh.
So that's how I get my vision. So I've been working on trying to clear them up, but so far nothing's been working. I get them more often, but I still can't tell what I'm looking at.
I see. Sometimes it's a feeling, sometimes it's a voice. The vision is probably more clear. That if you have all of them, it really helps. And we do offer classes to help people see, hear, and feel more clearly. But that was something I never pursued. Number one, I didn't really believe it was possible. Number two, I'm not the type of person who was very, attached to this kind of things. And if it comes, I'm very grateful because you can use that as a tool, a very powerful tool to help people even better. But if it, it doesn't come, it's not your time yet. My teacher used to say when he was teaching here that maybe you're not ready in terms of your cultivation level. When the universe doesn't want you to see, that means maybe you can't handle it. Because I do have friends who learn from various schools who acquired this skill, but they kept seeing really scary things, which could cause accidents. For example, they would see ghosts running on the freeway, and they thought they were people. They would stop their car all of a sudden and create a chain accident. I have never seen anything like that. I always see very positive figures, beautiful angels who are here to guide us. I only see negative things when we are in classes where I help people clear and heal the spirits attached to their bodies or to the building. That you have to see them to do the work. And that's very strenuous energetically to the teacher. But I'm happy to do that. And they move on to light and move on to the spiritual world.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why. I do kind of know why I brought this subject up in the first place. There's somebody that is listening to this who needed that quite dramatically. So I got a big hit on that, so to say.
Oh yeah, it really helps if the person you are trying to help healing can see. And then they can cooperate and they can confirm your, what you see,
right.
And they heal faster. But as long as they don't have, like the more pure-minded the person is, and the less ego-driven the person is, the more likely they can open up clearly, or in the case they are not open, their third eye is not open, they can receive healing really fast, because they don't have so much energetic blockage around them.
Right.
So there were a lot of cases where people had pain, oh my gosh, for many, many years, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in different medicines, drugs, and surgeries, and nothing worked, and they were told by their doctors that they are just too old. Like a 50-year-old woman, to me, it's not old. But they told those women, you're just too old. You have to learn how to live with pain. And she came to a class. She's very trusting. Although she didn't know what Qi Gong was about, what Tian Gong was about, she came with a very open heart and mind. She came in and just, received. And her pain went away after one day's class. So that's